So next on the show, we are going to be taking a look at one of the games at this year's PAX Online, and it is called Floating Floors. And to tell us all about it, we've got the team behind the game available right now. So I was wondering if we could start off with you, Stella, if you could introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about your involvement with the game itself.
Sure. Thanks so much for the opportunity here, Dave, for interviewing us. Firstly, very excited about Floating Floors. And hello, everybody. I'm Stella. I am I would say, the marketing social media part of Gulf Studios. I actually run my own channel down at Maple University and also contributor at the Dice Tower. So I have Carl and Mark, part of Gulf Studio with me. Very exciting. This is the first game that we are taking to Kickstarter. So we've co-published other games. So mainly I do just the media part. So videos, social media, and contacts with social media. That's me.
Awesome. So Takashi, what is your role with Floating Floors?
Yeah, hey Dave, hey everyone. It's a pleasure to be on. So my name's Takashi. I am, I guess, the designer behind the original concept, the designer behind the game, Floating Floors. And I guess other than coming up with the idea of these balancing ninjas on these floorboards, I had taken the development of the game as far as pretty close to what we're seeing in some of the more finalized rules that Gulf Studios have helped me work on, or we've been working on together. I guess Floating Floors is my design, and continuing to work together with the developers of Gulf Studios and with Stella to make the game great.
Awesome. And last but not least, Carl, how did you become involved with Floating Floors, and what is your involvement with the game?
Easy. Thanks, David. Just to wrap all that together, Stella, Mark, and myself started Gulf Studios, which is a new Australian board game publishing, localization, and licensing company. So our objective is to find great designers like Takashi in the Southeast Asian market, including Australia and New Zealand, and then being able to bring their games to the world. In addition to working on, our business side of things, I'm also working with I'm what we call a developer of the game. So taking Takashi's original design and then building on that, making sure it's really streamlined, really user friendly for the final audience, and then helping bring that to Kickstarter with Stella and Tak and the rest of the team.
Awesome. So Takashi, I guess starting with you, where did the idea first come about for Floating Floors?
Yeah, excellent question. So the idea for Floating Floors, it's largely inspired by, it was kind of like the ancient security system of feudal Japan, which you can still see remnants of it in some Japanese castles and temples around Japan. And they were the nightingale floors. They were really the security system against, ninja, those that would maybe creep around and try to undo your doings. So this idea, it actually came from a book that really inspired me. It was a book by, I think it's Leanne Hearn, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Across the Nightingale Floor. And I really wanted players to be able to experience the trepidation that readers might have been feeling and reading that book, as if they were the ninja crossing those floors and trying to memorize where to place their feet in order to make it safely to the target. And I feel like Floating Floors accomplishes that pretty well.
So Carl, tell us a little bit about how the game first came to you. Was it something that was pitched to you, or did you find out about the game from some other way?
So we actually found out about the game through Stella. So with her Maple University work, she gets to see a lot of games in an early stage to help do videos for them, how to play videos and such for various people throughout the industry. And Stella saw Floating Floors from Takashi through that and brought it to us, Mark and myself, straight away and said, "You've got to check this thing out. This is just a great game. We've got a New Zealand designer here, nice and local, exactly what we're looking for." Sort of ticked all our boxes. So from there, we had a copy of the game that Stella had, so we all got together and played this game a number of times, sort of seeing what Takashi had done and brought it together for how this floating floor system worked, where you're placing jitsu, what we're calling jitsu, little wooden pieces onto a floorboard, onto a tile, and then placing floorboards on top, and then balancing, working your way across those, having to remember what's underneath, and keep that stability as you work your way around the floorboards. We've really taken that and streamlined that for mass market to bring that to as many people as possible. Probably up the skill level a little bit, made it a little bit more puzzly in there as well.
Awesome. So Stella, tell us, what was it about Floating Floors that stood out to you that made you think, no, this has got to go to the next level?
Yeah, that's quite unusual. I basically tell Tech, we basically stopped Tech from going to Kickstarter himself, like, stop right there. And Tech was like, yeah. So yeah, we, me and my other half, Terrence, we were originally commissioned by Tech to do a playthrough video for it, and we feel like it's a fun game, and it is just it's nothing quite like it out there as well. It has obviously, because of it is a 3D strategy game, it has a bit of a table presence. It's fun to play. There are some intense moments, and it's also fun to watch, I think. So I think we, obviously, as Carl said, the game ticks out all boxes, and we approach Tag and say, hey, you got a great game. Let's do this together.
Awesome.
And lucky for us, Tag say yes.
So Stella, how important is PAX Online to the marketing of the game, but also how can people get involved with the Kickstarter out there if they want to as well?
So we meant to have the physical PAX, which we were very excited about, so that people can actually try this tactile game. But PAX Online, at least there is still PAX Online, and we feel like it's a really good medium for us to show other people, us being originated from Australia. We haven't got a lot of game developers, publishers in Australia, so PAX Online being local, I think it's a good medium for us to tell people about this one, and then tell people, hey, we are going to Kickstarter. And yeah, so hopefully people will find out more about our game.
Takashi, how do you feel about being part of PAX? Because PAX is kind of ultimate in the gaming world. How does it feel that your creation is part of PAX Online this year?
Two words. If it is two words, starstruck. I never in a million years would have guessed that I would be involved and at a stand at PAX Online. It's only when I started developing Floating Floors that I was just like, hey, I would love to do more of this. And so hence I wanted to take it to Kickstarter and just, make it a real thing. So this is, so many dreams come true, really thanks to the fairy godmothers and godfathers at Gov Studios.
Now, Carl, for people out there who are part of PAX Online this year, they go online, they find out more about Floating Floors. When do you think that we could expect to see this out there on the market for people to purchase?
That's a very good question. We're looking at the minute to run on Kickstarter, maybe very end of this year or early next year is our current objective. So you can follow along the journey at Guff Studios on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. we will be, as we've just said, for PAX Australia and PAX Online, we will be doing demos of the digital version of the game, which plays a little bit differently, being a digital implementation of a very tactile game, but gives people, I think, a really good introduction and overview of the game to be able to see how the game works and how the game plays. So we will have tests available during PAX Australia as part of their Discord server, which is free for everyone to come along to. Come along there and hang out.
And Stella, again, from the marketing point of view, if people can't make it along to PAX, but they want to find out more about Floating Floors and also follow the development of what's going on with the game as well, how is the best way for them to do that? What are the social handles and Discord channels and stuff that people should be following?
Sure. So we just used the PAX Australia first. We haven't really advertised our own Discord channel, but otherwise people can find us in the most convenient places on Twitter, gov.studios, or Instagram, gov.studios, or Facebook, also gov.studios, or website govstudios.com, and they can sign up to our newsletter. I don't send very often newsletters, so hopefully people, who, if you're interested, sign up through the newsletter. We give you bits and pieces behind the scene and just quick updates on what's going on in the Floating Floors world.
Awesome. Well, Carl, Stella, Takashi, thank you so much for taking the time to come on our show today. We hope that a lot of our listeners will check out Floating Floors as part of PAX Online, but also get involved with everything outside of PAX Online as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks heaps for having us, Dave.
It's been a real pleasure. Thanks, Dave.